saw the opening and lost it. And they say offensive foul. It's a charge called on Pippen.
I don't know if anybody knew what the call was at the end. Everybody just kind of stood around and waited. Was it going to be a foul for moving underneath Pip? Was it going to be an offensive foul? And suddenly the announcement that offensive foul was called.
That might have been the first mistake of these 3 games that the Chicago Bulls have played. They shot. Pippen went in with 12 seconds. You know, that's a lot of time now on the shot clock.
Danny Ainge, who had the strong game on Friday night, has come on for the first time. Here's Johnson, yes. 4 seconds left in the quarter, and the Suns with him too. Marley with the intercept. Marley for Loomis, and they're tied at a 29. 1 and 5/10 seconds to go in the quarter. Scott Williams throws one the length of the court. Jordan with the shot. So the Suns score the last 8 points of the first quarter. They've come from behind to tie the game at 29.
And what Magic was talking about wound up being a 6-point swing in the game, potentially. 2 that Chicago didn't end to get the quarter, and then after the score, steal, and another score, 4 more points for Phoenix.
After one here in Chicago, the Bulls 29, the Suns 29.
Across the universe, people are asking, what fiend would steal Air Jordans?
Oh, goody! More Air Jordans for me!
Pebble Beach!
This is no way for a Pampered superstar to travel.
What the shoes?
And they're all mine!
Give me those Air Jordans.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
no,
yes, no, yes, no! Take these or else!
The squirrel team.
Saved by a clever edit. Things seem bleak for our heroes. Wait, a giant pencil with an equally giant eraser. I smell trouble. I smell popcorn.
Is that better popcorn?
Get it while it's hot.
Get it while it's better.
Our heroes have made the world safe for truth, justice.
And Mike's royalty checks from Nike.
That's all, folks.
That's my client's line. It says so in my deal.
Jeez, what a pig.
That last critical turnover that Chicago had, as Magic mentioned, came about with 12.3 seconds remaining on the game clock and shot clock. Pippen drove to the basket, picked up an offensive foul. He should have just held this basketball. His team was leading 29-25. If they score the last basket, they're up 31-25, up 6. But by him going early, it gave a chance for Phoenix to go down, score, steal the inbounds pass, score again, and you wind up with a 29-29 basketball game to end the first quarter.
I know when I was with the Lakers, if I had to turn that ball over or shot it during that time, Riley would have met me at half court and been screaming and hollering all the way at me.
Second quarter is underway. Grant back in there, rebounds. Trent Tucker has come on for the first time. So a 3-guard alignment for Chicago. Jordan, Armstrong, and Tucker, along with Williams and Grant. Armstrong is open for 3. 11 for B.J. Armstrong. And the Bulls lead 32-29. Tom Chambers has checked in. Chambers up front with West, Marley, Johnson, and Ainge in a 3-guard set. Marley for 3. Yes. And Dan Marley is on target.
They finally took advantage of the team defense of the Chicago Bulls, spotted up Dan Marley on the penetration, kicked it out to him for 3-point.
The game tied at 32. Jordan with the room. Too much room for Michael Jordan from a Phoenix point of view. 15 for Jordan. The Bulls 34, the Suns 32. Marv Albert with the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello, Urban Magic Johnson. Bob Rashad had a storm. Bob Costas will be along at halftime with the Prudential halftime report. Bill Walton, Peter Vesey, Here's West getting inside. Mark West with his second field goal, and again we're tied. 34 apiece. Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Scott Williams. Johnson gets it down for Chambers, and Phoenix is up by 2.
Well, see, this is what I was saying. The way you can get Kevin Johnson involved is to get out in the transition. And they just were able to do that in that succession right there.
Jordan feeling for Marley on the post-up move. Rebounded by Scott Williams. Scott Williams so instrumental off the boards in game 1. Did not show up in the numbers as dramatically in game 2 on Friday, but played well. Horace Grant from deep. That his first field goal. The Bulls and the Suns tied at 36. Mike Mathis with the whistle.
Well, what happened was, Marv, that Tom Chambers and Williams got into a pushing match, and he wanted to just stop the game and say, look, clean it up before I throw one of you out or both of you out.
Settle down type. Stop it. Kevin Johnson with 5 assists. It's the best he's played in the series. Chambers. Tom Chambers off the bench to hit a couple, and the Suns now lead 38-36. And it's called against Chicago. It is an offensive foul, elbow indicated. And it's on Grant. That is his third. 3 personals on Horace Grant.
One of the reasons why Phoenix is shooting 57% in this game is they've gotten many more easy scores as compared to the first 2 games where they shot just 46% combined.
And the US is in another station break. And Chris, Marley had a pretty good run against Seattle. He hit 8 from 10 3-pointers in game 5 against them, but he's been pretty quiet against Chicago.
Yeah, Dan Marley's a great player. He's an all-star this year. And he's got a lot of skills and a lot of talent. He's strong. He can hit the open jumper. He can drive, play defense. But unfortunately for him against Chicago, he's got Michael Jordan to reckon with. He has to guard him and also be guarded by Jordan on occasion. So he's not getting those open shots like he did against Seattle. And he's finding it a little bit more difficult to drive.
Probably like having a big thundercloud just hovering over the top of you.
That's right. I wouldn't want to have Michael Jordan guarding me. It's pretty tough. He's one of the top defensive players in the NBA as well as offensive.
One of the guys, though, on court now who is having a good time is Dumas.
Yeah, Richard Dumas is having a great series so far. And he, in fact, was benched against Seattle in the Game 7 of that series. He hadn't really played well against Seattle, and people were looking for him, wondering what's going on with Richard Dumas. And they need him to come out big against the Bulls, and he has so far. He's played really well.
Y'all ready for this? Miller Lite presents The Lovables.
Yes.
Okay, as the Lovables wrap it up, let's go back to the commentary in Chicago.
Most critical for Chicago to have Grant on the floor. He steps up to back pick as his teammate cuts. Ainge gets hit with the block. The official calls an offensive foul, number 3 on Horace Grant. He's not real happy with that. He knows he has to go to the bench. Let's take it over to Hannah for a second, see what she's got from the Phoenix bench.
Well, Charles Barkley is still sitting at the end of the Phoenix bench. He's not re-entering the game. At this point, Charles is having ice applied to that injured right elbow. Dr. Richard Emerson is afraid that Charles may have lost some of the strength in that elbow. They have some ice on it right now to keep the swelling down. Marv?
All right, Hannah, the Suns 38, the Bulls 36. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Kevin Johnson backing his way on B.J. Armstrong.